Привет из Дубая. С вами передача «ГолубьМира», где разбираем крутые навыки. Спрашиваем на английском, отвечаем на русском. Подтягивайте язык или смотрите перевод в тайм-кодах. Let's talk about psychology disorders and let's start with the definition.
There are a lot of doctors who think that we have no healthy people, but there are a lot of people who were not uncovered. So if we will dig deeper in our psychology, we will find some maybe stalking in the past. Maybe we'll find some problems. Maybe we'll find some diseases which are not really looking so dangerous, but people already have it like a small eggs in the nest. So we should know how to choose people, how to select people for marriage, to be a couple, to be colleagues, to be, I don't know, maybe partners in some dangerous or endurance sports.
And when we're trying to assess someone or something, or maybe even the group of the people, we probably need to have some sort of like a markers or maybe the deep understanding of how the brains or the psyche, aka soul, works. So what are the fundamentals of the psychological disorders, or maybe like there are other another discipline that is actually the foundation of it, and what should be aware of?
Usually you should think about a person like about chair's legs. First, how this person behave to itself, how it behave to you, to the вещи, to the things, and
Things.
to the health. So these 4 points will show if the person is correct. Yes, there are some people who want to be healthy but eat junk food. Yes, there are some people who care about their own things but don't like to be accurate with the things of other people. But in general, these 4 points could you help to assess other people's.
Sometimes it feels like it might be some sort of like a spider chart if you would try to visualize and see like what other spikes or what other folds we have on that in order to at least like do the analysis. But when it comes to the analysis itself, what kind of levels we might be aware of and to which depth we can go in order when we're trying to understand or analyze someone else's soul or behavior.
When you think about somebody, we should first think and look how this person sees the universe. Some of them think that they are omnipotent or very lucky, or maybe they are нелюбимый ребенок, unlovely child.
Um, Unloved child.
Unloved child, and this is the starting point. Second point or second mile is how people behave with others when they don't need them, for example with waiters or with people who clean the garbage on the streets. Third, this is how people think about their future life. Do they spend money or do they save money? Do they invest in future? Do they think about house, flat, or maybe some other assets?
And when it comes to the different dimensions of the assessment, probably we should also consider different like a context, different background, or maybe different circumstances of the people. And if we look at it from the holistic picture, should we make a judgment on the first encounter with the person, or should it be like a time bounded observation?
Yes, you quite well said this is a time-bounded observation. When you are exhausted, when you are angry, you will make wrong choices, you will say the wrong words, and then you will think that maybe it was not worth to spell it. But anyway, it is already happened, and some people were observing and could make their judgment. There is a joke when Sherlock Holmes, for the very first time, saw the drunk person, he will think, yes, it's a drunkard. But if you are working with psychological disorders, you should think, I was looking to this person for very first time and he or she was drunk, and maybe the reason is a funeral or maybe a birth or day of something. And if you will see this person even in fifths or even more times, you should have the same thoughts. Maybe it's just occasion, maybe this is just occurrence.
And probably people like as anyone else, they might be making certain mistakes or maybe doing the misjudgment or losing some sort of like a small details that they might be missing when they're trying to do the analysis. So what other ways or what other mistakes people make and what they should be avoiding when they're trying to make such analysis?
First mistake is to look at the behavior of other but not notice of yourself. There is a saying in Russian language to look for a huge for small piece of dust in someone's eyes and do not to notice huge wood in your eyes. Maybe there is a better saying in English.
Usually they would say you did not notice the elephant in the room.
Okay, it's much better. Yes. So when you see for someone's behavior and you don't like it, first don't judge this person, but judge yourself. Maybe you also have such behavior. You know, there is very tricky things in psychology. If you don't like any person or any behavior, this also should mean for you that you have the same behavior and you are not happy that not you in this position, but someone else using your strategy. And last thing, when we talk about psychology disorders, this is to see how people meet their win and losers. There is several sayings from Mike Tyson, and he was saying everyone has a plan until first knock in the jaw. And second, you could fall a lot of amount of time, but people will judge you not how you fall, but how you stand up.
So we were talking about analysis and the judgment and making certain assumptions, but whether psychology disorder actually covers like what to do with it. Like, okay, for example, if you're aware that this person has a certain like a flaws or maybe like a deep, some sort of like a traumas or some sort of like a sickness that is currently in the silent mode, but with a certain point of time, like a slowly ticking bomb, it actually will be explode. So is it also about trying to prevent it, or it's totally about the awareness?
Yes, it's mostly about awareness because you're not allowed to offer medicine and to offer some kind of treatment. But anyway, even in School of Troubleshooters, there were, I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 times when I found that people were having psychology trauma. For example, one woman, she was like, I don't know, maybe about 30. She were having about 2 kids, and suddenly she, on the speed counting, told me I could not multiply by 7 because I was abused by my teacher in the school, and we were working with her exactly how to multiply with 7. Another woman, it's also maybe even more более взрослый, more aged,
More senior.
more senior. She were saying, I never tried to run, even in the school. I was having just bad marks, but I was preparing her to make some shift in another country, and she should to lose her weight, and we were trying to run in very slow mode, and suddenly she found I could run, and you know, it was very funny. The person about is 40 years old suddenly stretch her hands to the clouds and loudly saying I could run.
Well, it's quite nice stories, and maybe sometimes awareness could lead at least to certain steps that could be taken in order to maybe even mitigate certain diseases. My last question will be how knowing about psychology diseases would help to make this world a better place.
No, we are not accurate with the words, and sometimes we will say something about mental diseases to other people, which are maybe probably more healthy than we. And this is very severe grief. Never say something about psychology when you have no diploma about psychology. But from other side, we live in very small flats. We are too crowded in the towns, and we use a lot of transport like subway, buses, trams, and also we have a lack of space. And maybe we should be more attentive each to other. And if someone have a mental disease, we could step aside, not to confront him.
Будьте внимательны друг к другу. А мы рассмотрели навык психологические расстройства и чем он полезен именно вам. Всем мира.